Come, Holy Spirit, bless this unworthy priest, that I may preach with humility and with the heart, and not just with the lips. And that people will listen with their hearts, not just with their ears. Come, Holy Spirit. Come, Holy Spirit. Amen, Lord. Amen. So, dear friends, today, happy day, Sunday and Mother's Day. I have a simple question. Offhand, casually. When you stir coffee, all right, do you stir coffee with your left hand or right hand? Sige nga. Right hand? Left hand? Me, I stir my coffee with a tablespoon. It's well, just to give us some joy, especially because thinking of mothers is and should be a pleasant thought. I mean, basically, the best memories we should have are those with a mother. And you talk to any person, you talk about the mother, there's something that even the biggest bully, even the hardest criminals, when you talk of mother, iba yan. There's something that we cannot explain. I remember we had a very tough priest when I was a seminarian. Siga. It could be a hard-talking guy, it could be shouting. No superior could discipline him. But when the mother calls, oh, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, oh, yes mami. Tignan nyo, iba po talaga kasi ang nanay. Thank you, mothers. Thank you very much for reminding us the good part in us and for believing in us. In fact, some say, maybe you're afraid of this bully or this napakasamang tao. But maybe the only thing that's holding on to that person, that's making that person whole, is that love of a mother. So thank you, mothers. You who hold the cradle, they say nga, you hold the world. And thank you very much. Big, big responsibility for all mothers. And sad to say that those who love so much, like our mothers, sad to say, are the ones who are most taken for granted, hurt. Sila pang nasisigawan, sila pang ina-abandon. Isn't that the same the way we treat God many times? How the world treats God. In the end, people are angry with God. They take God for granted. Wala yan. And they even curse God and blame God for everything. That's how it is. You who love much, you know what it is like. Oftentimes, you get hurt much. Ang taong masyadong nagmamahal, masyado ring nasasaktan. Kadalasan. Mga iba po, Father, hindi ako nasasaktan. You know why? I operate from here. Pera-pera na lang yan. At, wala yung heart-heart. Fine, that's convenient. But you know what? That's very shallow. Oh, Father, we get things done, Yeah, maybe. But there are things that you can't get done without the heart. Puso pa rin eh. That's why today, the Lord tells us the most beautiful thing. My commandment, love one another as I have loved you. You listen to this because this is what the Lord is telling all over the world now with what's happening sa atin. All this COVID-19 situation. The Lord is telling us, continue to love one another. Kasi po, at such times, many of us already become selfish, safety, we become angry, we become impatient with people. And again, we forget this God telling us, you love one another as I have loved you. And this commandment comes with a promise. If you love one another, you will have that joy which the world cannot understand, nor cannot give. And whatever you ask in my name, I will give it unto you. How God continues to tell us, I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and your joy may be complete. Reminds us also, as God loves and is taken for granted, so are mothers. Sila na nagmamahal, sila pang madalas na. But like God, mothers continue to love anyway, anyhow, all the way. Yan po ang mahirap maintindihan ng iba. But again, our mothers taught us many things from the heart. Might be good, you families, you who are listening right now, to remember your mother, the lessons she taught you. Remember the life experiences, moments that you cannot forget about your mother. All of us have mother moments. You honor her today by remembering and perhaps being grateful. And you, maybe as a family, magkwentuhan kayo. Oh, father and mother, you talk about your own mother. Okay? You tell the children about your experiences of your own mother. And you children, you tell your mother, oh mama, I can never forget this about you. Something like that. That's how we honor our mothers. I have very simple memories about mama. And I just cannot forget, ito po, childhood memory. Many times, when I was a little boy, I would wake up at night, and there I see Mama just covering me with a blanket. And that for me says it all. And Mother looking after her children. It's a memory in my heart and in my mind. And that experience, nothing can take that away from me. Yes, please, mothers, continue to give and leave behind happy memories. Lessons learned, ako, ang dami po. For example, like, I was asking Mama noon, Mama, bakit wala tayong TV? Kapitbahay natin, may TV na sila. And you know what the mother would say? Wala yan. Okay lang yan, magkakaroon din yan. You know, she made us believe that there's a reason. And Papa would say, just study well, just be good, you pray. That was enough. O finally, nagka-TV na kami. Mama, may colored TV sila. Yung TV natin, yung vertical, bumababa palagi. Pinupukpuk pa namin para lang mag-steady yung... And Mama would all say, kaya mo lang yan, Jerry. Okay naman, maganda naman yan. So she made us hope, believe, and dream. These are the things which money cannot buy. Go back. You know, somebody said, the lessons you needed in life, for life, you learned from your mother. You should have learned already from your mother. Even using the toilet, flushing the toilet. These are things you should have learned already. You have not learned that. So marami pong bagay But most of all, I really appreciate Mom, because I learned from her how to pray. All of us, to just trust in God, to believe that there is this God. And she taught us about the Blessed Mother, the Rosary. I have told that so many times. This habit of mine to carry a rosary and a handkerchief in my left pocket started when I was still a little boy. Mama always asking me before going to school, Jerry, did you bring your handkerchief? Did you bring your rosary? I still do, all these years. Little things. So my dear mothers who are listening now, salamat po for all the lessons we have learned. Thank you so much. Well, the untold sacrifices of mothers. Kaya nga po well, it's Mother's Day. Ang nanay sa Pilipino, Tagalog, yan ang ilaw ng tahanan. The light. Ang tatay, yan yung tagapundi ng ilaw. Minsan po. But kidding aside, oh, by the way, fathers, it's Mother's Day. This is your day. Today also is your day. Kaya ikaw ngayon, you are the man of the day. Ikaw ngayon ang maglalaba, magluluto. This is, and mothers, how can I forget? Seminary. And I cannot forget one thing Mama told me. After my ordination, she embraced me. And then, I never expected it, but she said, you know, Jerry, I have to tell you something, sabi niya. I'm really sorry. Mama, bakit ho? Because you had to leave home so early in your life. You were 12 years old and you had to go to the seminary. I know it was so difficult. You were homesick. You were deprived of the comforts of home at an early age. Only a mother would know. Akala ko, wow, that was something that really hit me. She knew what I was going through, the sacrifice, the love. Why was all this possible? Let's go back now what the Lord is telling us. Remain in my love. Mga kapatid, look, marami kasi sa atin, left hand, right hand, ganun lang inusap na. We forget the tablespoon. You know, many of us in our loving, we forget God. Akala natin it's all about us. May I remind you, all loving begins with God. Yeah. All loving, the human nature itself starts with God's love. The origin of love is, as the Father loves me, so I also love you. So let's make that very clear. The fact that we can love at all is because God gave us a heart, not just brains. Number 2, love continues because of love. Remain in my love. Kumbaga, ano ba yung vitamin to keep love going? It's the love of God, again. That's why, ito nga po yung husband and wife. How do you keep the flame alive? Your hard work, definitely. Your efforts. But you know what? The grace of God. And because you made a promise to God, diba? For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. So, the presence of God in a marriage makes it stronger. Otherwise, wala na. If it were just up to me, wala na. If it's just a human decision, wala na. You see where God puts the vitamins. Why would, for example, a young man like June Perez continue going to the missions? Isn't that the love of God? 5 mission pinuntahan na niya, pupunta pa siya sa ibang country. And he really wants to go there. It's the love of God. Yan, that's the one that makes him continue, persevere. Why would, for example, Father Flor Lagura, SBD, persevere 50 years in priesthood? Because of the vitamin, the love of God. It's the love of God that impels us, that keeps us going. Why will you continue to do all the work in spite of dami mga criticisms and dami pa? Because there is that love of God. And people will not understand this. If there is no love of God, you know what people will say? That's crazy. You're a fool. Why give up all the comforts of life? Why should I give up my money for people? Why should I give? But if the love of God is there, why would you accept hurts and pains and disappointments and go on anyway? The love of God. The love of God is constant and makes us persevere. And you know, case in point, last Sunday, pasensya na po kayo, last Sunday, the internet was so bad. On and off, and then for whatever reason, I also believe that the evil one oftentimes gives us oppressions. But goodness will always triumph. God will always triumph. So, what happened? If, because of the interruptions, you became impatient, you became angry, you became upset, that was just you reacting. But we say, okay, God, you are there. I know you'll fix it. By the way, question lang. Madali ka bang ma-upset? May konti ka lang nadinig, upset ka na. Meron kang hindi nagawa pa, upset ka na. Even the weather upsets you, etc. Alam mo, pag madali kang ma-upset, if you are upset, you were set up by the evil one. Sinet up ka lang yan para to focus on yourself. That's it. So, patience, when you say, okay, God, nandiyan. See how the presence of God can change. In this COVID situation right now, if it's all about human wisdom, kung wala tayong faith, Diyos ko po, nagkagulo na tayo matagal na. But many of us prayed, many of us kept hoping, and kept believing, and we continue to hope and keep on believing. Oh, one more example. I was doing a Zoom Mass, middle of the week. It's a family of the deceased. You have that laptop, and you're praying, doing the Mass with them. After consecration, for whatever reason, nagblanko na yung screen. Diyos ko po, anong gagawin ko nito? I don't know what to do. Blank. Oh, and here I am saying the Mass. What should I do? Should I wait for them? Should I stop the Mass? I said, no, I'll go on. I'm talking to you, Lord, so I'll keep going with the Mass. I continue with the Mass. And sa Our Father, pagdating Our Father, ayun, bumalik na sila. It's the thought, if God is with me, I'll go on. I'll just go on. Even if walang tao, I'll go on because the presence of God is always there. Yes, so dear friends, and what is the completion? The origin of love is God. The continuation of love in our lives is God, because of God. And the completion of love is God. We go to heaven, our final destination, in the kingdom of love, where everything will be fulfilled. No more tears, no more pain, no more goodbyes, no more COVID, no more politics, no more traffic, whatever. That's our final destination. Our heart ganito raw, not complete. But in heaven, it will be already a full circle. Wala na po yung mga puwang-puwang dyan. Our hearts will be completed. Thank you, Lord, for your presence in our life. And alam po nyo, speaking of presence, I've always believed that God will continue to remind us of His presence and His love at different times of our lives, especially when we need it most. In my case of my siblings especially, like we miss Mama when she died at the age of 92. But somehow, the butterfly always reminded us of her presence. Nung kamamatay po, kalilibing po ni Mama, many times, we see this white butterfly, yellowish, na parang may black din, fluttering for us. That's Mama. Si Papa naman, yung butiki. Like we're saying something, no? Pagkabigkas mo pa lang, tik, 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 tik. Oh, si Papa yan, approve daw, approve. So, something like that. Maybe it's childish, naive, whatever, but still signs. If you believe in signs, then you really experience the love of God. For example, that butterfly. When I had cancer, and I would be going back from chemotherapy, I go to the chapel, I'd be praying in the chapel in the mission home, and as if on cue, yan na naman yung butterfly, going around. Sabi ko, Mama, thank you for reminding me. Lord, thank you. And many times would even go in one of the benches. Then I go back to my room. The next day, somehow nandiyan na naman. Recently, we had this walking rosary. We made a decision sa mission house with our conference, Father Owi, that every day in May we'll make some kind of a procession rosary. Dito lang sa compound. And guess what? One afternoon, about 3 or 4 days ago, we were going around. It's like 30 minutes. That white butterfly was following us and went back with us to the mission home. Why am I saying this? This is what the Lord is telling with us. Remain in my love, just as I always remain with you. Please, anytime you're feeling down and low, and listen, the Lord will speak to us. So my dear friends, let's continue then to live in the love of God. And please don't forget, payback time. Kayo po mga anak, you have received so much and love. Please don't waste your time. Do it now. Express your love, appreciation now na. You remember yung sulat ng isang nanay? Let me just paraphrase it about a nanay telling a child in writing. Sumulat na lang. Sabi niya, anak, sa aking pagtanda, sana'y maging maintindihan ka sa akin, maintindihan mo ko, kung ako'y nakakabasag ng pinggan, nakakatapon ng sabaw, anak, wag mo naman akong sisigawan. Alam mo, maramdami ng isang matanda. Nasasaktan ako tuwing ako'y sinisigawan mo. Pasensya ka na, madalas ako'y masungit. Dala siguro ng katandaan. Kung hindi mo maintindihan ng mga sinasabi ko, huwag mong sabihin ako'y bingi. Anak, pakiulit na lang. Kagaya ng pag-intindi ko sa iyo nung bata ka pa. Mga paulit-ulit mong kwento na hindi ko maintindihan. Ngunit pinakinggan kita. And the mother goes on and says, anak, if you have time, kung may oras ka man lang, sana mag-usap naman tayo kahit sandali lang. I know you're very busy. But you know, anak, maghapon nag-iisa lang ako sa bahay, walang kausap. At sabik na sabik akong madinig ang boses mo. Kung pwede lang ikaw ay aking maakap. At anak, pag dumating na ang pagkakataon na ako'y magkasakit, sana huwag kang magsawa pag-alaga sa akin. Sensya ka na kung ako'y madumi, umaihi sa higaan. Pagtiyagaan mo akong alagaan sa mga huling araw ng aking buhay. Total, hindi na naman ako magtatagal. At anak, pag dumating na ang panahon na ako'y aalis na sa mundong ito, sana nandyan ka sa tabi ko. Kung pwede lang. At sana hawakan mo ang aking kamay. Bigyan mo ako ng lakas ng loob na harapin ang ating Panginoon. At huwag kang mag-aala-ala, anak. Pagharap ko sa Kanya, ibubulong ko sa Kanya na pagpalain ka sana dahil ikaw ay naging mapagmahal sa iyong ama't ina. Anak, mahal na mahal kita. If today you hear His voice, harden not your hearts. Mayroon bang mga nagmamahal sa iyo? Are there people who love you that you just often take for granted or even hurt? Mga nagmamahal sa iyo na nasasaktan mo pa, napapabayaan. Let's start with the Lord. Lord, patawad po. Kayabangan namin. Hindi po kami nakikinig, nagdadasang. Start with our loved ones. Maybe your mother, could be your child, could be a helper, could be a fellow priest, a fellow religious. Do not postpone. Let the love of God come out. Don't let your issues become the main thing. No. Let the love of God take care of everything. Remove whatever walls we have. If today you hear His voice, harden not your heart. Panginoon, salamat po for reminding us again. We still have so much to learn about true loving, about true giving, about humility and generosity. Thank you, mothers. Thank you, Mama Mary, our dear mother. Thank you for reminding us that you are always with us. Stay with us, Lord. Remain with us. Let your love remain with us. And may we remain in you, in love. Amen.